Hello, everyone. Welcome to Calculus 1 this summer. I'm your professor, Dr. Aaron Yeager. I wanted to give you an intro video and show you how to access the materials. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so everything's going to be in D2L here. So we're going to start by going to content. Okay, so there's a few things you should look at before going into everything with the course. Definitely read about like how an online course works. And then let's look at the syllabus here. So this contains information on my office hours, which is 8 to 10 on Friday. If you'd like to meet, just during that time, email me and I'll send you the Zoom link immediately. Or if I'm in another meeting, it might be a few seconds. And then, or if you need to meet at a different time than that, just email me and we can find a time to meet on here. Expected response time is 24 hours on weekdays and 48 hours on the weekends. The course is over calculus, which is sometimes called analytic geometry. And this is all the stuff that we're going to be covering. Okay, get you up to at the very end is integration. Okay, so we'll be using everything will be online, even the exams. And so for the exams, you'll need to have your computer be able to access the lockdown browser and Respondus monitor, which is a video recording of the exams. Chromebooks and iPads are not compatible with that because those don't have actually operating systems in them. They call to the web to get their programs. But if you need a laptop that has that, if you click this thing right here where it says this form, the college has laptops. You can get one for loan, or if you can't pick it up, they can mail it to you. Or if you can take any of the exams on any campus computer as well. Let's see here. Methods evaluation is going to be the homework and the exams. So homework is going to, most of the time it's due on Friday. Once we go into the shell here, I'll show you how to access it. The lowest 4 amongst the homeworks is going to be dropped. Most of the homework is just typical homework that you do in an online platform, but there is always every week there's going to be an engagement question, and that's just responding to a question about how you're doing in the course or something, a topic, kind of like a big picture thing, and that's just graded on completion. And so it's not like an actual like assignment, like where's the homework is. Then there's going to be 4 tests and 1 comprehensive final. The lowest exam amongst the 4 is going to be dropped. And if there's any like, and then since everything's online, we have to have the and when setting up the webcam, there has to be like a surrounding video where you show what's on your desk and everything. For the exams, you can use a calculator if you want, and you can, but you won't need it for most things. But if you want one, and then you can have a 3-inch by 5-inch note card with formulas on it. And then on each exam, you'll have 2 attempts. So each exam has 2 attempts, and then Hawks will take the best of the 2, and the exams will be open for a whole day that you can take it. Doesn't matter what time during the day you take it. Standard grading scale. These are the breakdown of how the grading scale comes to, with 30 for homework, 50 for test, and 20 for the final. The exams right now, the dates are on June 12th, 26th, the 10th, and the 17th, and the final being on the 25th. So all of those are open for a full day once those on those dates. There's no makeup work, but well, there's late work. Hawks allows late work, but with the reduction of 25% if it's one day, 50 for 2, and 100 after that. But in the end, if you missing 4 is not going to do anything because the lowest 4 are dropped. The exams and the homework is graded immediately through Hawks, so you'll know exactly what your score is. Like, say when you take the exam on the first attempt, if you didn't like your score, it'll show you can take it again. I'll grade and reply to the engagement questions like personally, so I'll do that within at least 1 day of their due date. And then after that is all the normal stuff: course evaluations, campus-wide policies, and so on. Okay, so let's go back to the table of contents here. All right, next, after you've read that, you're going to want to read this information here on Hawks. So this is just telling you how Hawks works. It's a mastery-based system. So what it means is like once there's a mastery level that has to get accomplished, like say 80%, for example, and then once the 80% has been met, then you get complete full credit for the assignment. If you want, like, and I would suggest though, once you've reached it, to keep working through the problems, and it won't like take you out of that you've already certified, but that way would like it'll give you the whole range of problems that will be coming for like in an exam setting. Now Hawks Learning, you'll only go to this one once. So you'd only go to this once here, and you would be doing this to go to the SSO. So this is where you would sign into Hawks. So, and I'm opening the course early. If anybody wants to do that, just you can go in there and sign in right now. But if you don't sign in, then on the first, it'll enroll everybody into there, and then it has a 14-day free trial period before you have to pay for the access code. Okay, and then here's a typical module of like how things are going to look for like up to the exam. So on the average, about 2 weeks per exam. So this would be the material for due on the 3rd and the like June 3rd and 4th. And that's a Sunday and a Saturday. That on the Saturday it's just that engagement question, and then on the 4th the actual homework is due. Typically the homework's going to be due on Fridays. Okay, so like let's look at like what we have for the first week. Okay, so this would be if you want to watch the video lecture, you would click this. It'll take you to the first stuff in this first week is just review. So this is basically some kind of key things from college algebra. So you'd watch the video and then you would click on this to start to do the homework. Okay, and once you are here, this thing right here is the book. If you want to look at the book on this section, you would click that. This is the practice, and this is where you would practice the problems, and then here's where you'd actually do the homework. So the homework is set for 81%. So let's look at what practice is. So in the practice section, you have consider, like it says, consider the following relation, determine the domain and range. So maybe you accidentally, like you just forgot what domain and range is, and you're going to be entering your answer in there. But like if you click tutor, that's going to like help walk you through it. And that's like the hint. This is more learn, sort of like from the book. Right, the internet is working slow. And so that would be what's in the book. And then, or if you just wanted to see what's the solution. And this is how they're going to want it typed in. And so the range, it's the domain, everything that you can enter into this equation, because there's no x's, there's no relation dependency on x. You can put in everything. And the range is what value is taken on this y-axis. And apparently it's only the value number 2. And then that does also show you how the formatting is that they want you to type it in. So then so you would save and exit. So that's the practice section. So you want to do the practice section first, because these problems in the mastery here are exactly the same, with just some numbers changed. But however, like what's different over here is there's no tutor button, and there's no and you have this little heart thing up here. So what happens is if you put in a number that's incorrect in here, it's going to say well, it says the internet, says have connected to the internet. Okay, so what happened here? So here you go. So I have one attempt remaining for this question. So if I'd like, so and like what will happen if I try a similar one, I can do it. But if and then it'll just be like as if nothing happened. But if I say accept the strike, then what's going to happen is like all of a sudden that little heart thing got bumped down to 2. So then you can take 3 hits, and then what will happen is it'll bump you out and put you back in the practice. So if you do the practice ones and you have them all written out next to you, it's going to be way easier to go after these ones right here. And then when you're done, you're just going to save and exit. And then that's it for that. So let's go back to what else is in this first week. Okay, so those are just all the same as like what just happened with the first one. What's one thing different is this thing here. So at the very bottom, you have your week 1 engagement question. So this is due on the Saturday, the 3rd. Okay. So, so you're gonna complete this. I've actually already completed it. Sorry, so you can't see what I typed in there. Oh, I did. I just typed in something to see that work. But you would have been at that point able to access it. But the first one is just write a few sentences on some things that you're worried about being successful in this course. Just something that like maybe you're worried about how it's going to be completely online or the speed of the course or anything, and I'll just reply back comments on it. So that's the engagement question. So almost every week there'll be an engagement question, and I'll send weekly emails reminding that like these are due and such. Okay, let's go back to material leading up to exam 1. Okay, so that would have been the first week stuff. Then there's a whole next week's worth of stuff right here. And these, so now when you get into these, so these are going to have a little bit more supplement stuff with them, like 2 videos to help you with it, along with everything else that you could access while doing it. But I'd suggest watching these 2 videos before attempting it. And then that's the next week. This is just kind of giving you an idea of a typical up to the exam situation. And then before every exam, even the final, there's this thing right here. So so these are practice exams. And so what these are to give you an idea on what's going to be coming on the exam. So you'll know exactly what to focus on. And if you complete this with like at least 80% mastery, then 7.5 extra credit gets added onto your exam. So potentially on each exam, you could get 107.5%. And then there'll be one for the other exams as well as the final. So that leads you up through the very first of the course and getting started. So if anything comes up, just email me. I'll be checking email all the time, and we can meet online. And for doing math, I have if you have math questions, I have an extra camera. So there'll be a camera on while I'm writing and one while I'm talking. So 2 cameras, so we can easily communicate math. If you have any questions at all, feel free to contact me. And I hope you guys have a great summer, and excited to be your Calculus 1 professor. And hope you guys have a great day. Goodbye.